start. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the session today. And today we're going to be looking at this. This is getting technical and ready for work. That's what we're going to be looking at today. I'm going to be going over or using material from a Teams program called New Close-Up. And this is at an A2 level. Now, obviously today, you're not A2 level students, you're teachers. So while you'll participate a little bit like students today, I'm not going to stick exactly to the A2 level, but I think you'll get the idea. Okay, so just a few quick introductions. My name is Andrew. I'm a senior academic consultant here at National Geographic Learning, and I've worked with lots and lots of different teaching and training and programs and things over the years. In fact, this morning I was at the university in the city where I now live, and I was helping physics students this morning because I have a master's degree in physics. So I was doing that this morning as well. I do that as a little bit of extra something fun to do. So yeah, I've done lots of different teaching, and so hopefully you'll get some benefit out of a few ideas that I share today. Now in the chat box, just make sure, sorry, what the heck happened there? Oh, okay, I know what that was. My phone suddenly made a noise. It shouldn't be making noise. Yeah, just make sure your chat box is set to everyone so everyone can see your messages. And there is a Q&A box today. So if you want to use the Q&A to ask questions, then feel free and I will try and answer them as we go along or at the end of the session. Okay. Julie, who's my colleague here, she may help me monitor the questions as well, and she may answer some as well as we go along. But we'll try and get to those at the end today. Okay, so today we're looking at this topic. The topic or the unit topic is about technology. So we're kind of getting technical today, but also we want to look at the idea of being ready for work. A lot of our programs and materials deal with future readiness. In other words, being prepared for what you may come across in the future. And that could be at school, that could be at work, or that could just be in your regular life. Okay, so what we're going to do is kind of just quickly understand what being ready for, in this case, work, kind of entails. Okay, and hopefully you'll see some of that today. So this particular information here was gathered by us by looking at a whole lot of future ready skills reports. These are things that are put out by like the World Economic Forum, the UN. There's lots of business groups, lots of different things put out these things saying these are the kind of skills you're going to need in the future. Okay, and we basically collected the top 12. Okay, so if you look down that list, you'll see things like the 4 C's, right? Collaboration, communication, critical thinking, creative thinking. You'll see things like digital literacy. You'll things like people management skills or leadership skills or self-management skills. There's all of these different things that help us operate in a world that is constantly changing, which is the kind of world that we're in today, okay? And the more of these kind of skills we have, the better we can adapt to the changing world that we live in, okay? So as we go through the session today, as we look at the material, I'm going to be addressing some of these skills and having to think about them as we go along. But like any skill, these things don't suddenly appear in our students, right? These things are a scaffold that we build up over time, like the little diagram in the corner, okay? So we're always just kind of addressing small points along the way. And as time goes by, our students will develop skills by seeing them, by understanding them, and by practicing them as well, okay? So that's kind of what we're going to look at today. And when we finish today, I'm actually going to ask you which of these things did I address somehow during the session, okay? So keep your eyes open and think about some of these things later on as well. Okay. So I'm going to switch over to the lesson content today. I'm going to our classroom presentation tool in our Spark platform. And we're going to start. I'm going to be the teacher from now on. You're the students. So have a look. What do you see on the screen? What can you see here? And hello, if you're just joining us, welcome on board. Hello. What can we see here? What can we see on the screen? Technology, yeah, there's some technology here, right? We've got kind of a suit and we've got a computer or a tablet or something here, right? 2 people, yeah, that's right, Julie. Yeah, there is a treadmill and you can see this piece of technology suit thing goes all the way down to his feet. An exoskeleton, that's right, you can read the caption at the bottom. It says it's an exoskeleton, right? Yeah, so as you're already asking in the chat box, what's going on here? Who are these people? Why is this person wearing an exoskeleton? And who is this person? So what do you think? Let's do these one at a time. Why do you think this person, I'm assuming it's a man or an old boy, why are they wearing this exoskeleton thing? Why are they wearing it, do you think? So Chachi says she thinks it's a therapy session. Tiburcio says a patient being trained to walk. Yeah. Is it capturing motion? That could be another thing, capturing the walking motion. Cool. Maybe he's disabled. Yeah, okay. Maybe a patient. True, right? So that could be why, right? And then who is this lady here with the blonde hair? Right? Maybe a doctor, says Natalia. Yeah. Could be a doctor. Who else could it be? A therapist, a physiotherapist? Nice, yeah. So maybe your students don't know those words in English at an A2 language level, but they know them in their home language, I'm sure. A scientist, a teacher, a trainer. Who else do you think it might be? I'm kind of wondering if this is, I don't know, is this in a business or is this at a home? Because I'm wondering, yeah, like Rumiko says, is it his mom? Maybe it's his mom. I don't know, right? Maybe it's a relative. And this is at their home. It does say in the caption, a special center. I guess that's not at home. But this, yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just mom encouraging her son to try harder, have a go. How do you feel? Could be a lot of different things, right? And if you look at her face, how does she look? What kind of emotions do you think she has going on right now? What are her emotions right now? What do you think? Do you think she's happy? Do you think she's curious? Do you think she's upset? She feels sorry? Maybe. Caring, encouraging? Yeah, okay. Jusen, thank you. And Yunjo, curious, Irish. Very good. It's an interesting name. Attentive, yeah, paying close attention, right? Maybe thoughtful, yeah. Pretty satisfied with good results, says Chachi. Yeah, nice, very good. Okay, maybe concern, yeah. I don't know if it's concern. If I see a face like that, concern would be more with the eyebrows, kind of furrowed a little bit, maybe, yeah. Trying to be helpful, maybe gripping the bar down here. Is that nerves or is that just like resting her arms? I don't know, right? Anyway, but it's interesting, right? Lots of information we can get from a picture. Now, there's a couple of questions at the bottom. Let's have a look at these. How is technology helping this person? How is the technology helping them? So maybe someone said earlier, it's helping this person to walk, right? What else could it be doing? Yeah, helping him to walk, yeah. Yeah. Is there anything you notice about this person? If I just show you that much, maybe I'll zoom out a little. Is there anything you notice about this person that gives you a clue as to what might be happening here? Beatrix is supporting his mobility and Jody's helping him to walk. So how do you know that? How do you know that it's helping him to walk? So one thing for me, I don't know if you noticed this, but if you look at the size of his arms, right? His arms seem like a good size. And then you look at his legs and like his ankles, and they seem very, very thin. Like maybe he doesn't use them very often. And so the muscles are kind of all like shrunken and gone, right? And maybe that's why he needs help walking. Maybe, I don't know, has he been in a wheelchair or something? I don't know, right? But his legs seem too thin compared to his arms. So maybe this is why he needs help to walk, and these are some of the ways that we can help him. It's interesting, right? Anyway, yeah, artificial muscles, exactly. The exoskeleton is providing the support for his legs, yeah. Okay, now question 2, what technology do you use in your daily life? Let's just answer the first one. What technology do you use in your daily life? So right now I'm using a computer. I'm also using a writing tablet so I can write messages and stuff, which I'll be doing later. And I have my cell phone. I have lights. What else do you have? Cell phone, computer, laptop. Yeah. What else do you have? I've got technology. I've got lights here. A washing machine. Nice, Jody. Yep, TV. We're not down in the river washing our clothes, are we? A webcam, says Julie. The internet, Janine, yes. I'd almost forgotten about the internet. A cooker, yep. Good. So there's lots of different technological things. Can you imagine a life with no technology? AI, yeah, Beatrix, yeah. AI is growing more and more on us, right? Can you imagine a life with no technology? Yes, but harder. I think it'll be a lot harder, right? Anyway, let's take a look at what we're going to do today. We're going to look at some vocabulary and some grammar. We'll talk about things we're doing with technology, and we're going to look at kind of some ideas, reading and some project ideas, right? Okay, so let's take a look at what we're going to do in the first piece here. We're going to look at, jump over here, don't worry about what's on the right-hand side. We're going to look at some ideas to do with technology first, okay? So here's an activity. Normally we do this one in pairs, but let's just do it as a group today. There are some photos on the next page. So I'm going to go into the photos here. Let's take a look at what we've got on these photos. Okay, so here's the first photo. I'll zoom out slightly, but I don't want to go out too far. Okay, Samburu women in a digital multimedia class. Okay, so we've got some things here. So let's look. What do they all have? What do all of these people have? And I think, does this say, yeah, they all have a pad, right? They're all women. All the students here are women. The two teachers, I think, in the back here are men, right? But they're all women. They all have tablets. What else do they all have? What else do they all have? They all have kind of the same clothing, don't they? Right? Yeah, I think maybe they have earphones. It looks like there might be earphones, or is that an earphone or is that jewelry? The little things on the ears. I think that might be jewelry, right? They're in a classroom. Does this look like your classrooms that you work in? Is this classroom like yours? Or is it different? Not the same. So what's different? What are the differences between this classroom and your classroom? Yeah, they have the same attire, Janeth. That's right. Yeah. So what are the differences between this classroom and your classroom? Yeah, they've got a clay floor or a dirt floor. There's no books. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be any books there, do there? Right? Oh, maybe those are earphones. These are earphones on the table, aren't they? Yeah. Okay. Not so well equipped. I mean, the desks look pretty basic, but they've got tablets. That's a little bit perhaps unusual, right? It's kind of a mix of older and newer things. Yeah, maybe they have to wear the earphones to hear the teacher, maybe, or maybe it's translating for them. Who knows, right? Could be all sorts of things. Yeah, cool. Classroom looks like 100 years ago, but the technology looks like it's from today. Yeah, it could be. Yeah, very good. Now, where do you think this classroom is? Where do you think this classroom is? A country or a general location in the world? Somewhere in Africa. So everybody's saying Africa. Why do you say Africa? And Haile is saying it's in a village as opposed to in a city. Okay, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, the people have dark skin, right? They have some sort of, yeah, I guess you would say some sort of native kind of African look about them. That could be true. Yeah, the clothing. Yeah, that we see pictures sometimes of people dressed like this, and it looks like maybe it's an African style. Okay, could be. Yeah. Could be, right? But yeah, those are the two main clues, right? Is usually skin color gives us a good idea, especially dark color like this. This is typically associated with Africa, isn't it? Okay, right. Now, one of the questions that was over here was, what technology do we see? But what do you think they are using this technology for? Why are they learning to use this technology? Do you think they're learning to use tablets? Why do you think they're learning to use them? Okay, they're trying to understand, or they're trying to study, maybe. Maybe they're trying to learn a language, Halia, yeah. Maybe they're playing educational games, says Kun Fong, yeah. Zebaniso, hello Zebaniso, to improve their English, maybe, okay. Maybe they need it for getting a new job, that could be true. Going green, yeah, it could be Beatrix, I don't know, right? Maybe they're They're learning new ways to go green in their lifestyle. I don't know. Could be the easiest way for them to learn with gadgets. Okay. Maybe they first try with a tablet. Yeah, okay. Now, I've got one more question before we look at the next picture, the next small picture. Of all the people in this photo, can you tell anyone, can you see anyone in this photo that you think might be having a difficult time? Can you see anyone who might be having a difficult time at the moment? Yeah, so where are they? Or describe how you can see someone who's having a difficult time. Third row from the board, what about them, Hale? The ones in the upper right corner, okay. Why? Why? Why are they having a difficult time? Okay, so the person in the third row has the hand on the head, like, oh no, what's going on, right? Maybe it's like that, right? Maybe they're tired, I don't know. Maybe they're just resting, but maybe they're like, oh, that could be true. That could be true. Some people are just staring at the gadgets. Maybe they're not doing anything with them. Okay, that's interesting. Some are being assisted by the instructor. Good. Yeah, could be. Some says maybe there's a dialogue box on the screen. Yeah, we've got a couple of people like in the second row and in the third row. Is that a dialogue box? Or maybe that says you've finished an activity? I don't know, right? Yeah. Anyway, but there are different ways we can tell when people may be struggling and maybe need help. And as teachers, I know we know how to spot those people a little bit more easily, right? Very good. Okay. Now there's one more picture. It's down the bottom. It's only a small one. Okay. There's this person here. Okay. At the bottom here. Zoom in a little bit more. So what technology does this person have? So I think it's pretty easy to see he's got a cell phone, right? And this is a man, a gentleman. Okay, you can see kind of where he is. He's obviously outside. What do you think he's using the technology for? What is he using it for? He's on the plains somewhere, right? In the grasslands, maybe. Calling someone, yep. Talking with his friends, maybe. Making a phone call, yep, sure. Well, he's posing for a photo, that's true. Connecting with family and friends, talking to someone who's abroad, so yeah. Calling someone, Wong Na, yeah, okay. Could be, right? Okay, well, let's find out as we go through and take a look. There's a very short reading. Let's take a look at the short reading and then see what it tells us, right? So zoom in all the way. Move this up a bit. Okay, the Samburu people, live in northern Kenya. That's in Africa. They have cows, sheep, and goats. They don't stay in one place all the time because the land is very dry. They follow their animals looking for food. Okay. Do you think that's a reason why they need the technology? Do they need technology to do this? I don't know. Okay, let's take a look a little bit further. They follow their animals looking for food and water. Okay. But now their lives are changing. Like over 90% of the population in Kenya, many Samburu farmers own a mobile phone. Even in remote places like the Samburu Reserve, farmers use their phones to buy and sell their animals. Ah, now we know why he has a phone, right? He's using it to contact the people who are buying and selling his farm animals, right? Okay, so he's on the phone like, oh, go on, give me 20 for my sheep, right? Or whatever, right? Okay. They have special apps on their phones to find out more information about their animals. Ah, so these are like farmers with technology, right? Just like Western farmers use technology to maybe track their animals or understand their nutrition. Okay, this can help look after them better. Ah, wow. So these devices are helping the farmers improve their quality of life. Interesting, right? Okay. Now, the Samburu women and children also use technology. At the small primary school in the Samburu Reserve, children and women are learning how to use tablets to find out new information about the world. Okay, so in this book, we're learning about them, and on their tablets, maybe they're learning about us. Maybe they're learning about people from Vietnam and China and Indonesia and everywhere else, and New Zealand, which is where I'm sitting, right? Okay, yeah, so these are the way, this is how the technology is changing their lives, right? Interesting, right? Okay, so let's see if we can go over these quick questions here. We got 3 questions. Actually, I'm going to jump to my whiteboard and we're going to look at them on the whiteboard. So here's my whiteboard, and I need to go up to the top. So why do the Samburu people often move? Why do they often move? What's the answer to this one? Why do they often move? What do you remember? Yeah, because they're moving their animals, right? So the animals are moving and they're looking for food and water, right? And they follow their animals. Good, nice. It could be to do with the climate dilemma. That could be right, because maybe the resources are more scarce, so they need to move around more. But I think probably they've been doing it for a long time, right? How do the farmers use their mobile phones? Yeah, to monitor the flock. Okay, and also to sell or buy animals. Yeah, good. Nice. Where do the women in the photo live? Now, did you pick up the name of a place? They live in Kenya, that's true, but there's a place that started with S and R where they live. Does anyone remember it? So it's a proper noun, it has capital letters. Samburu, yeah, that's the name of the people, and they live on a reserve. A reserve, that's not how you spell it. A reserve. Okay, so that is land set aside for only their people, right? So the Samburu Reserve, only the Samburu people can live there, can farm there, things like that. Okay, good. And then how are they using technology? How are the women? So here, you look back to the last noun, and the last noun is women, right? So it's about the women. How are the women using technology? Yeah, to change their life, right? And to find out about the world. Okay, so they're using it to find out about the world, and also just generally to change their lives, right? To improve their lifestyles. Okay, exactly, improve their quality of life, Beatrix. Nice, very good. Okay, so now we've got some ideas about that. The next activity, I want to do it here first before we look in the book, okay? So in here, we've got an exam tip. Now, this program has a lot of exam tasks in it, a lot of things that are like exams, right? Like maybe Cambridge English exams, right? And so in this program, we have a lot of tips about how to do these things better. So here it says here, some exam reading tasks have 6 short texts. It is useful to think about the context for each of these, when and where you might see it, where and when you might see this, okay? What kind of text is it? Okay, so let's take a look at the 6 texts. These are the 6 texts. What kind of text is number 1? What kind of text is number 1? What do you think? And we're going to do 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 as well. So what's number 1? It's an ad. Yeah, it's an advertisement. Where might we see it? Where might we see it? Is it maybe in a newspaper? Or is it online? Or is it in a magazine? I don't know. They're selling a mobile phone, right? So maybe that's online, or maybe in a paper. Maybe it's a Facebook thing, like Facebook Marketplace or something. I don't know. Okay. Or something like that, right? Okay. So that's an ad. What's number 2? What's number 2? Text. Yeah. It's a text message, right? Number 3. What's number 3? Looks like another ad. Yep. Definitely another ad. Number 4. Yep. Shopping. Exactly right. Number 4 is another text, right? That's another text message. Number 5. What's this? A poster. Yeah. So this is a poster, or you could also say it's a notice. And where would this one be, do you think? Where would this one be? So I think this one, yeah, at school or in a computer class. Yeah. It could also be, let's see, it says for school work, maybe they're in the library or something. But yeah, they're at school, I think, right? And then Mrs. Webb must be one of the teachers. And then the last one, I think you can see, is a text, right? Okay, so when we've got ads, we're trying to buy or sell things, right? When we've got a poster, we're trying to give people information. And when it's a text message, it's a conversation, right? So that's the context. Okay, good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to jump back to the book, and let's take a look at the task that we have to do. So here is the task. The task is, okay, this is exactly like the exams. here are 3 statements, and I have to match it with the text, right? So which one goes with the text, right? Now, I think what I can do is let's jump in and do it this way. So this is a little bit more interactive. So for this one, what's happening here? Dieter is selling the phone because it's old. Part of the phone needs to be changed, or the phone is for sale for a short time. What do you think? Which one? If you read what it says, you think B? Okay, so everybody thinks B, because what is the part of the phone that needs changed? What part needs changed? The screen, yeah, it needs a new screen, right? Now, it's also fun sometimes to look, where are the traps in the other question? Where are the traps? Where are the ways that you can go wrong? So in A, it says he's selling the phone because it is old. Now, it's got the word old, but that doesn't mean the phone is old, right? Yeah, okay, 6 months is not very old. But when you see this word old, some students would say, oh, it says old, so I tick A, right? Okay. And then this one here, why would it say a short time, on sale for a short time? Because maybe some student would see only 6 months. So, oh, that's only a short time, right? So you haven't got long to buy the phone, right? So yeah, so maybe these are some of the ways you get trapped, right? So you've got to watch out for the traps too. Okay, good. So let's take a look at the next one. Let's take a look at number 2. Okay, so Hamid wants Rania to meet him tomorrow. Rania is a member of the Digital Photography Club. Katie is meeting Rania at the Arts Centre tomorrow. Okay, so if I move down, okay, so that's pretty much the whole thing. Let's see if I can get, there we go. And then the name is underneath of Hamid. Right. Okay. So, hi, Rania. I'm meeting Katie at the Arts Centre tomorrow. We've joined their new digital photography club. It's from 6 to 8 p.m. on Wednesday evenings. Do you want to come to Hamid? Right? So, let's see. Hamid wants Rania to meet him tomorrow. Does that sound right? Okay. Rania is a member of the Digital Photography Club. B. Okay. And then C. Katie is meeting Rania at the Arts Centre tomorrow. So I've got C, B, A, C. Okay, we've got all sorts of different answers in the chat box at the moment. What do we think? Let's see. So let's look at the last one. Katie is meeting Rania. Okay, where is Katie tomorrow? So I think Katie is at the Arts Centre tomorrow, right? And this is Rania. Hi, Rania, right? And how do I know that Rania is not at the Arts Centre, not definitely going to the Arts Centre? I know that because Hamid asks, do you want to come? I don't know if Rania is going or not. So I can't say C, because if I say is, it's definitely happening, right? But we don't know yet. Okay, now what about this one? Rania is a member of the photography club. Rania is a member. Well, it says here that Katie is a member. Katie has joined and Hamid has joined, but has Rania joined? Hasn't yet, because Hamid is asking, do you want to come too? So I don't think she's a member, right? But I think Hamid wants Rania to meet him tomorrow. I think that might be the closest. Let's see. What do we think? A lot of us are now thinking A. Let's check the answer and see what it says. Okay, it does say A because it didn't change when we looked at the answer, right? So yes, Hamid wants Rania to meet him. Will Rania meet him? We don't know. Okay, cool. Okay, so there's lots of these kinds of little activities where we can go through them and do that kind of test practice and understand the answers, why they're right, why they're not right, how we can tackle the test better by close reading and matching evidence with these things, right? Maybe it takes a bit of thinking to do that. Okay, cool. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to jump ahead. Let's have a look. So this was a little bit of reading and a little bit of understanding what's going on. Let's jump ahead and look at some vocab and grammar. Now, this is very easy, but let's just do the task together just to see the words we're learning. So here we've got screen, Printer, tablet, which one's the screen? A, B, C, D, E, or F? Which one's the screen? D. Okay, good. Which one's the printer? Printer C. Okay, good. Tablet. Tablet is A. Okay, and so on, right? I think laptop's E, right? Digital camera, that's the one on the floor. It's really hard to see. Digital camera's F, and the mobile phone must be B, and then we can check our answers, and everything's good, right? Okay, and nothing changed, so everything's good. If I did it wrong, then I show you what happens, right? So if I just said, oh, let's see, oh, I think that one's A, and that one's B, and that one's C, then when I check the answers, it will fill all the correct ones in for me, so I know which ways they go around. Okay, good. Okay, so we know those now. Now down here, it's got an activity. I'm just going to open the activity and we can do it straight away. This one's about what types of words go together. Okay, do we download a file or do we download a friend? A file. It might be interesting to try and download a friend, but I don't know. Maybe some people need to try and do that. I don't know. Okay, download a boyfriend or a girlfriend, maybe. I don't know. Okay, do we send a web page or send an email? You wish you could be a trick. Okay, send an email. Very good. Okay, next one, text online, text a friend. What do you think? Text a friend. Okay, good. Enter a password or enter the internet? Password. Okay, cool. Go online or go the web? Yeah, well, go the web is just really bad grammar, isn't it? So go online. Nice. Okay. Call a friend or call an email? So call a friend. Great. Okay. So this one is really about those co-locations, those common phrases that we use, right? Which kind of words commonly go together? What's the verb for the things we do with this kind of object or subject, right? So if I've got a file, what can I do? I can download it, right? But I can't enter a file. That sounds weird. I would open a file, but I wouldn't enter a file, for example. So we can get the students used to these sorts of things. Okay, good. And then there is, if I go to the next one, there are pictures as well, because it's not just about text literacy, it's also about visual literacy, right? So which one of these is download a file? Which one of these is download a file? I think it's this one, right? That one there. Okay, so then if I said, what about the top picture? This one, the orange one at the top, what does that go with? The top picture, what does that go with? Send an email, right? And so again, we can go through and follow these up, and then we can check all the answers at the end, right? We can see how they match up. So it's not just about words, it's also about the icons and the things we will see using the technology as well. Okay, good one. Okay. So what we want to do is I want to have a look at another exam task. And this one is about, again, collocations, words and phrases, what goes together. But we're going to do it on the whiteboard first. We're going to try and guess. Okay, so we're going to jump in here. Here is the task, and it's choose the correct answer. Now, in the exam, this would be multiple choice. But I'm not giving you the multiple choices because you're smart students. So let's see. Let's see if we can fill in the blanks. So, do teenagers worry about spending too much time on, so you think this one might be social media? What other word could go here? What else could go there? Digital, okay, maybe we'll put another one over here. Maybe it's digital media. Okay. Another one, I can think of a word. I could think maybe interactive media. I can't spell today. Interactive media, okay. So maybe it's that one as well. Anyway, social media, I think everybody's like, yeah, that's easy, right? Okay, many teens, something, their message is constantly throughout their day. Reply. Okay, we've got a few different ones here. Send. Text. What else? Receive. What else? That's a good list. We'll see which one it is later on, right? Okay. And feel sad if they don't get any. Parents, oh, someone's saying check as well. Let's put that one in. Okay. Parents also worry about their children spending too much time looking at the screen. Okay. Screen. Okay. The monitor. Okay. The phone. The phone of their tablet, laptop, or mobile. I don't know. That one doesn't seem To fit, maybe, right? We'll take that one out. Okay. Number 4, instead of talking with their friends, they play something games, video games, online games, computer games. Okay, good. Okay, cool. Or something video and music files. What would they do here? Watching. I think it would be watch, right? Not watching. Yeah. Okay, good. Yeah. Download. Okay. Download. Any others? Because this is the reason we're doing this is it's a good exam technique. Before you look at the answers, try and think, what words do you know that already might fit here? And then you can compare the words and find something that actually works, right? Okay, good. And then the last one. On the other hand, some teenagers say that their parents don't have time to talk with them because they're busy someone on the phone. They're busy talking to, chatting with. Okay. Yeah, we need another word in here. Talking to someone, chatting with someone, arguing with someone. Okay, arguing with someone. Okay, interacting with. Okay, good. Those are some good options, right? Okay, so now texting with. Yeah, it could be. Could be they're texting someone on their phone. I like that. That's a word where we don't need another cursing. Okay, maybe. Right. If it was my father, that would be true. He uses a lot of colorful language. Anyway, okay, so let's go back to here and let's actually do the task and see what we have, because down here, it actually has some options for us. Okay, so let's see. Let's go through it on the interactive version and we'll pick out the words, right? So the first one, what's the closest to what we thought? I think it was social, right? Social media, yeah. Next one, many teens, which one? A, B, or C? Many teens, B, send their messages constantly. I think it might be check their messages, right? You don't say send their messages, you just say send messages, right? Send messages, write messages. But if it's their messages, it would be check their messages usually, right? Yeah. Okay. Throughout the day. Yeah, you don't write throughout the day, do you? Really, right? That seems a little unusual. Okay. And then we can go through and do the other ones like screens and so on, and then we can check our answers, right? Okay. You get the idea, right? I'm just saving a little time on the answers, right? But the purpose of this, it's to help the students with their language, right? But at the same time, they're doing an exam task. They're learning the way to analyze an exam task and break it down and figure out the answers, right? And these are all skills that are going to be helpful for these students as well. Okay, good one. Okay, now over here, there's a grammar activity as well. I want to look at this one. This one's asking us to analyze the grammar. It's actually just this number 1 with the white and the gray piece here. And I'll open this up again. Let me see, do I have it? I think I have this on my whiteboard as well. I do. Let's jump to my whiteboard because then we can write on it at the same time. So for this one, we've got a little conversation to help us learn the grammar, okay? And the grammar in this one is about something to do with the tense that we're using, okay? Does anyone know what tense this is if you look at the sentences? What tense is this? Future? Yep. Yep, and it's also because it's got lots of INGs, right? Progressive, yeah, very nice, progressive tense, okay? And the reason it's future, so we're talking about the future, is because it says, what are you doing at the weekend? That's not now, okay? We are going to, right? What are we, and these are things that we're talking about that are in the future, right? Yeah, progressive, good. Nice. Okay, now, are these people making definite arrangements or possible plans? Which one? Possible plans or definite arrangements. Okay, we've got some dispute in the chat box. We've got one of each. So let's see. You think definite. Okay, so we've got a few people saying definite things here, definite arrangements. Okay, if it was a possible plan, what would the wording look like? How would the wording be different? So if I look at this one, it says, I'm not coming. That's pretty definite, right? Yeah, so if it was this one, it would probably change to I may not come. That one there would be I'm not sure yet. But this one is I definitely know, right? Yeah, so might and may. Or maybe you could also say, oh, well, I could go, but that's less definite language, right? Okay, good. Now, get rid of all that. Okay, we do questions. So when we've got a question, what's the structure of the question? Or the structure of the question? That's another question. So present continuous questions with, is it a be verb or a doing verb with a subject verb ing? Is it a be verb or is it a doing word? Yeah, it's a be verb, right? Because if you look at this one, the verb ing is doing, right? The subject is you, and the word that comes before it is are, and that's a be verb, right? That's a be verb. Okay? Yeah. So what are you doing? Be verb, are, subject, you, verbing, doing. Okay? And then what about if it's a sentence? I'm not coming. How do we write that? Yeah, so it's be. So I'm, that's the am, right? Not coming, right? And that would be the way we structure this, okay? So the purpose of this, again, is just to let the students kind of figure it out from themselves, from a limited set of options. How does the grammar work, okay? So we can guide the students a little bit more discovery learning to be able to do this with them, okay? Good fun. Okay, so after we've learned a little bit about that, what we're going to do actually is we're going to jump to the workbook. So if I go here, I can just jump straight to the workbook page. And I jump into Unit 2. And I'm going to go forward 1 to the right activity they want, which is this one here on the page. Number 1 on the left here. So it says, look at the diary and figure out which things are correct and incorrect and identify the mistakes. So I'll just zoom in a fraction more. There we go. Okay. So here's the diary and here's the statements, right? So Fatima is emailing, right? So subject, be verb, verb ing. Trisha on Monday. Is that true or false? Is that good? Or do I need to change the sentence? Is this one good? It's good, right? So if I check the answer here, it just goes tick. Yes, that one's good, right? Okay. She isn't writing her blog on Wednesday. She isn't writing her blog on Wednesday. False, right? So it's not isn't. What word goes in the gap? It should be is, right? And this is exactly how your students will complete it. And so then we can just run through and go through the other answers, right? Okay, but I'm just going to clean those off. There we go. I have a question for you. If you look at what Trisha is doing, how is Trisha using technology in her life? How is she using it? How is she using technology in her life? Okay, she's writing a blog. That's something she's doing. Yep. She's got an exam. She's doing a computer exam. Okay. And then email. If you look at that, do you think that Trisha is a very tech kind of person or a not so tech kind of person or somewhere in between? What do you think? Somewhere in between. So why do you think she's somewhere in between? What tells you that she's kind of an in-between person? Why do you think she's somewhere in between? Okay, because Anaban says she's meeting friends. Okay. Yeah, so she's got down here, she's visiting some friends. She's meeting Isha. She's having dinner at Zera's house. Okay. So she spends some time with technology and, yeah, other activities with meeting people and doing sports. Yeah, that's true, right? So she has kind of a balanced life, right? Is this like you? Are you the same as Fatima or are you different to Fatima? Natalia's kind of the same? What about who's got kids of their own? You're kind of the same. What about your kids? Are your kids like this or are your kids very different? Kids know. Rumiko, why are your kids different to this? Natalia doesn't have kids, that's okay. Or what about Natalia, your students then? If you don't have kids, think about your students. Are your students like this? Or are your students different to this? So I know for my son, for example, my son would be like Monday computer, Tuesday computer, Wednesday cell phone, Thursday computer, Friday computer. My son is much more like that, right? Yeah, they play lots of computer games, Harley. That's exactly right. Yeah. So they're attracted to those kinds of things. But some students are not. Some students are the other way, right? Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, so that's interesting. So this is Fatima. She's this kind of person, but maybe other people are different. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? What do you think? Your daughter's not allowed to get access to the phone. That's interesting. Yeah. I wonder how old he is. I don't think she's like 15 or something, right? Yeah. It's like 12. Okay, cool. That's good. Nice. Okay. So everybody's a little bit different, right? Is it good to be like Fatima, or is it better to have a lot more tech, or better to have a lot less tech? Life should be balanced. Okay, I used to think it wasn't too good to be hooked, but with coronavirus, things changed. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. I allow my children to use the phone because I'm working abroad. Ah, okay. So so then they can communicate with you, I guess. Yeah. Cool, right? But it's like, is it the right way or the wrong way? Right? What is that? I don't know. We'll talk about that in a minute, right? Okay. So we're going to jump back to the student book. If we go to, we're in the vocabulary one, there's the grammar one. There are lots of different activities we can do here with like grammar to help the students like learn to make questions and things like that. We're going to do some of those in the next part. So I'm going to jump ahead a little. I'm just watching the time. And I haven't got a long time left. So I want to jump through other parts in this speaking and listening activities, more vocab and grammar. But I want to go through, there's also a writing thing. We're not going to do this one exactly, but I want to jump to this piece right at the back here. Okay. Which is called Live Well, Study Well, okay? Now, I'm going to start this. Again, I've prepared on my whiteboard here. Here we go. This is the text that you can see on the screen later, but I want us to try and guess what are the words that go in the spaces here, okay? So this is about screen time. Children in the UK spend 32 hours a week looking at screens. Is that always a bad thing? Research in the US shows that watching TV as a family can be good for you. It can help you with your something starting with E and your education. What do you think? Exams? Okay. Right. So maybe it could be, I'll write some words over here. Exams, emotions. Okay. Okay, good. Okay, well, let's see. The study shows that online games can help people, make you more. Oh, entertainment. Okay, that was another E word. Entertainment. Okay. Can help make you more focused. Okay, I'll put the words over this side this time. Focused. And work better with people. What other word could go here? Relaxed. Okay. Maybe. Yep. Any other ideas? Sociable. Okay. Interesting. Interactive. Okay. Okay, good. Now, last one. The study also shows, engaged. That's a nice word. I like that one. I'm going to write that as well. The study also shows that children think social media has a positive effect on them because they can communicate with friends. Okay. Peers. People. Okay. Good. The world. Ooh, I like that one. That would, yeah, that's more than you normally do. Adults. Okay. Good. Okay, well, let's take a look at these ones. So the first one here was emotions. Yeah, so well done. We've got emotions here, right? So that's interesting. Watching TV as a family can help you with your emotions. Okay. Number two, we had a whole lot of words here, and it is makes you more creative. Oh, okay, we didn't think of that one, did we? Okay, and the last one is communicate with their friends. There we go. Okay, we're doing well. Okay, let's take a look. at the second one here. In the US, certain percent of young people use social media by age 12. How many percent do you think? 85%. Someone thinks 85%. Someone thinks 50%, 80%, 57%, 45%. Okay, 90%. Okay. 78 lots, right? Okay, good. Lots of different numbers. They're all fairly high numbers though, right? We'll see in a minute. Okay, a UK study has shown that a certain percent of children spend less than 1 hour playing outside every day. What do we think for this one? 45, 33. Natalia was 55 for this one, 50. Okay, so you're thinking somewhere in the middle, right? 65, well, that's a little bit higher. Okay. And then the last one, in the UK, a certain percentage of 13 to 17-year-olds say that they have seen things such as unkind comments that they think should not be online, things that should not be online. What percent do you think is here? 70, 60, 80? Oh, we got lots of ones, 30, 12. Okay, we got lots of ones there. Okay, so up here, 80. Someone said 80, well done. Very good. This one? 75. Wow, that's higher. 75. That's higher than we thought. Wow, so 3/4 of children spend less than an hour outside every day. Okay, and then the last one here was 46. Okay, so that's kind of in the middle. So we were all over the place, but 46. I kind of think this is low. I think lots more people would say there's a lot more garbage stuff online these days. But anyway. Okay, now this last piece is giving you advice. How should we try and live our lives? How can we manage our screen time? Try to socialize with friends in real life and what word do you think might go here? So she would socialize with friends in real life and virtually. Hale says virtually, yeah, online, good. So I think Hale, you've got the right idea. So here you can see we've got a balance, right? A balance, real life and online. Okay, so what do you think number 2 might be? Read what and online articles? Offline, read books, printed, okay? And it says books, yeah, so printed books, those are offline things as well, okay? Don't look at a screen during what times? Don't look at a screen during, what do we think? Family times, okay. Bed times, meal times, okay. And Alpha, well done, Alpha, sorry. Meal times, yeah. So when you're eating your meal, put your phone away. Talk to the other people in your family, right? Okay, try to do with friends outside. Try to do what? Activities and sports, good, yeah. Activities in general, right? And don't look at a screen 1 hour before bed, exactly. Now, question is, do you do this? Do you act this way? I don't do this one. I am always looking at my phone before bedtime, right? I do this one though. I don't look at my screens during meal times. I just eat meals. I don't try and read my phone at the same time or something. I do both of these. I do a lot more of these ones, but I do read books, right? So we're all different, right? But how could we find out about what some other people do? Okay. You try to read books when you don't have scores. Oh, nice. Very good. Okay. Well, what we can do is, if I jump back to the book, is to let's find out about what people do. We're going to do right now project number 2. Project number 2 is write a survey question to ask people of different ages about using the internet, right? So we're going to try and write some questions to survey different people. So who can give me an example of a survey kind of question? Give me an example of a survey kind of question in the chat box. So not such a good survey question would be, do you use the internet? That's not quite so good because it's only a yes or a no, right? But what's a question that's a little bit better rather than just do you, right? How many hours per day? Good. How many books do you read in a week, right? Now, this one, we're talking about using the internet, right? So we want to try and ask those kind of questions, right? So let's see what we come up with. I'm going to try and grab some of these as they appear and drop them in my whiteboard over here. So let's see if we can do that. So if I come down here, how often do you use the internet? That's a good one. I'm going to try and copy that and whoops, and drop it here. How often do you use the internet? What do you use the internet for? That's a good one. How long do you spend on social media each day? That's a good one too, I think. Yeah. How long are you online? Yeah, that's very similar, right? How much time do you spend online? What were some of the other ones we had here? This is an interesting one. It's not exactly about the internet, but as I said, what do you do when you are not online? That's an interesting question. Okay. Which social media do you spend most time on? That's a good one. And then maybe that one goes with this one, right? And put those two questions together. Okay. Cool. Any more questions? Okay, so you can see with this one, what we're trying to do, that's a nice one. Who do you often interact online with? That's quite a good question too. I like that one. Good. Okay, cool. So we could have a little survey like this, right? And this is a good writing exercise for our students, but then they can go in and conduct the survey, and they can do it maybe with people at school, they can do it with people at home, right? And then they can bring the results back in, and maybe we can do some, we can share the results. We can do a little presentation about the results. I found that 27% of people, blah, 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 right? And then it can incorporate some speaking and other ideas in, right? Does this seem like an interesting kind of activity and way to wrap this unit up? Yeah. Cool, right? And you can combine that with maybe the grammar and vocab that we've been using in this unit, right? To make it more engaging and more real, more authentic. Okay, very good. So as I said at the beginning, I've got a couple of minutes left here. So if I jump back to the slide I shared right back at the beginning, now I said there are these 12 things we've identified as the top future-ready skills. Which ones do you think I maybe addressed a little bit during this session, this 50 minutes we spent today going through here? Which things do you think? And how did I do it? Or where did I do it? Which ones do you think I did and where did I do it? Critical thinking, okay, so where did we have some critical thinking? Yep, so we tried to have some discussion, right? Yeah, that's true. Digital literacy, yeah, so you could just say with digital literacy in this one, we're just learning the words and phrases. That's part of it, right? But maybe there's something more interactive that we're doing in this as well, okay? Someone's saying communication skills, okay, because obviously we're speaking, right? Guessing the missing words, Ebenezer, where does that fall? Which one's that? Guessing the missing words. Yeah, obviously, I think that one's an element of problem solving, right? But at the same time, there's also some critical thinking as to what makes sense when it goes here, right? I think that one would fall into that as well, right? What else? What else did we have? Yeah, so I've tried to include a couple of other things here as well, because I've tried to maybe you didn't notice it so well, but I tried to incorporate a little bit of emotional intelligence, looking at emotions, looking at feelings, looking at why might these people be doing this, right? So we try and put a little bit of that in, some adaptability to understand maybe how other people live or what would it be like with no technology, right? As I'm going through my class, maybe I'm pushing my students on time to get them to manage their time. Maybe they have a certain time to do an activity, so they're managing that. So you can see I'm not trying to do everything, but as I'm doing different activities and maybe expanding the activity or addressing it a little differently, I'm trying to touch on some of these different skills, right? That's going to help my students build up some of these skills, develop more thinking or communication or problem solving or emotional intelligence skills so that they're more ready to do things in the future, right? And I think the materials that we're using here are really nice for being able to do that. You've got some flexibility and you've got a lot of authentic stuff to work with, like situations and people and photos, right? I think it's really nice. Okay. Yeah, and active learning skills, you mentioned that one as well, right? So that was like learning the grammar was more of a discovery learning, right? So it was a bit guided, but I think it's a bit more of an active learning approach too. Okay, Good one. So I hope that gives you a few ideas anyway, right? Something to try as you think about, as I'm preparing my teenage, especially students or my university students for their future careers. It's not just about teaching them things, right? It's about teaching them some of these kinds of skills as well, right? And then they're better people to be able to operate in the world. Yeah. Cool. Very good. Okay, well, we're going to wrap it up for today. I will answer questions in a moment if there are some. But today we will be sending out, I've been recording, I will send the recording to you with a certificate tomorrow. A couple of people who've been in our recent sessions have commented about the fact that they can't write their name digitally on the certificate like they used to, okay? I'll tell you why. It's because we used to have a designer make our certificates. Her name is Sophia. She's away having a baby right now. So I'm making the certificates, but I don't have her fancy software. But I will, in the mail with the certificate tomorrow, I will give you a little guide of how you can easily add your names onto the certificates if you don't know how. Okay, so I'll add that in tomorrow for you as well. Okay. Also, we do have some more webinars coming up. Now, I really want to highlight this one. If you don't know about this one on Friday, you really want to know about this one. This lady, Carmen Chavez, she is a National Geographic explorer, okay? And this webinar is not so much for you. This is an explorer classroom. This one is for students, okay? You can get your students coming along to this, and Carmen will be doing and sharing ideas about how her work is impacting kind of the world and how she used English to do that work and what impact she's kind of having out in the world, right? Definitely, if you do not know about this one, go check this one out, okay? You can find it on our website page. Julie's put the link in there. And this is one your students can attend and get a lot out of, or you can watch it as a class if it's at a good time for you, okay? So definitely go and check that one out. There are actually two that she is doing. One probably doesn't fit your time zone. I think this one might, okay? And Carmen is not the only National Geographic explorer doing this. There are a lot of them, right? And so you'll find out about other ones doing this as well. Okay, and then Alex Warren, he'll be doing one next week. Alex is a person like me who does training in, he's based in the UK, and he does a lot of training in Europe. And so he's going to be a really interesting guy to listen to as well, if you can attend next week. Okay, very good. If you'd like to talk with any of us about anything you've seen today, just drop me an email or click on the links in the email I send you tomorrow and we can get in touch. But apart from that, what sort of questions does anyone have? Does anyone have a question that they would like answered about anything we did today or anything you've seen? Harley, the textbook I'm using today is from a program called New Close-Up. I will send you some information about it tomorrow. I was using the A2 level, although I wasn't really teaching at an A2 level. I mean, I'm talking with you as a bit more of a more proficient language learner, but I'm just using the topic, right? Yeah. So the name of the program is called New Close-Up. It's designed for teenagers, and it's designed for teenagers who don't necessarily have high ability. They're still maybe developing their ability, but it is quite focused on helping those students, you know, with exam technique, because there's a lot of different exams that students at that age have to do. Okay, good one. No problem. Yeah, I mean, Rainey, you say it's a good choice. It depends on who you are, because I know some schools, institutions, teachers, parents want, or students, maybe they want an exam focus, or maybe they want something that's more conversation based, right? And this would be, then maybe it's a different program. Maybe they want something that's, you know, incorporates TED Talks or something like that as well. There's a lot of different programs for different needs. We have 3 or 4, but this is one that focuses on this kind of stuff, right? Yeah, of course you can, Hala. Yeah, you can use this if your students are not taking the exams. It would probably still help them. But it may be that one of our other programs might fit better, but it's definitely worth looking at, right? Yeah, good one. Yeah, like as Elnalfa says, if you're looking for something maybe with more of a conversation focus, this one has conversation activities because there are speaking components and tests as well and exams. But maybe another program might suit better. Just depends on what your students and you are looking for, right? Yeah, good one. Okay, well, that seems to be all the questions. So I'll let everyone get on with the rest of their day. I have to now log off and go and take my daughter to the optometrist. So enjoy the rest of your day. Watch for the email tomorrow. If you don't see it by tomorrow afternoon, then just send me an email and I'll make sure you get a reply with the things you need. Okay. So thanks everyone. Keep in touch. Hook up with